Hey there, I have 3 secrets for you today that legit homesteaders might not always be very quick to tell you, but I've decided you really need to know. So, what is homesteading? Obviously, it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and we all are going to define it a little bit differently. But I decided I'm going to give you an analogy for how I view homesteading. I think it's kind of like a Thanksgiving meal that you just sat down to with the most amazing bird in front of you and all the trimmings. And at the same time, you find out that your high school student just totally aced their midterm, and you get a call that you just inherited all of Aunt Flo's retirement funds. If you plucked every feather on that bird and prepared all of the trimmings, and if you sat up with your high school student for weeks on end, almost getting no sleep, studying for that midterm, and if you actually worked in Aunt Flo's place for the last 20 years to earn that retirement fund, then you have an analogy for homesteading. My point is, it's amazing. It really is. It's an incredible, joyful thing to say, I homestead. But it's stinking hard. It's hard work. There's no denying it. While the rewards of homesteading are huge, the difficulties are also huge. Not insurmountable, but pretty daggone close sometimes. So if you right now maybe even live in the city and you just are dreaming about the flock of chicken you're someday going to have, or maybe you've already named your dairy cow, even though you have no idea how long it'll be till you can actually have the land and purchase a dairy cow. If that's the case, then the 3 secrets I'm going to let you in on are totally for you. It's really simple. And I guess in the end, they're not really huge secrets after all. But I know there's been a lot of criticism recently in the homesteading world about people who like to play homesteading. And I just want to make it totally clear, as I always have, that there's really nothing playful about homesteading. It is hard work, and it's something you really need to know as you're working toward your dream of someday owning some land and having some livestock and growing your own food. It's not to discourage you, it's just to make it real. Alright, so the second secret, none of us truly feel legit. Well, I mean, I guess I shouldn't speak for everybody. Okay, I don't feel truly legit. I don't know if I ever will. I mean, honestly, I make so many mistakes. In fact, sometimes readers tell me, oh, Michelle, you say that too often. No, don't be so hard on yourself. Well, it's true. How can I deny it? I mean, there's this huge mistake I made with my hens that 5 of them were suddenly dead in a matter of minutes, and I should have known and seen it coming. I'll put a link for that in the comments in case you're wondering, because I don't want that to happen to anybody else. There was the problem with the incubating of the chicks and the mess ups I made with that. And then there was the problem with, the heifer and the cow and the cat, and oh my goodness. And speaking of cow, the cow was, we thought, due to have a calf, and she wasn't even pregnant yet. So that's how much of a mistake I make. And then, of course, the calf was born, and I thought it was a boy, but it was a girl. I mean, it just goes on and on. Yeah, I'm a failure. I'll admit it. And secret number 2, most of us really don't feel legit. In fact, sometimes I actually feel like when I tell people, oh yeah, I'm a homesteader, I'm a total fraud. Okay. And then there's secret number 3. You ready for this one? It's actually good that this is a video because you won't have to experience this secret in real life. But honestly, most of the time, I stink. Because I've walked in some sort of poop, or I've cleaned up some sort of poop, or I've scraped some sort of poop into the garden. Pretty much, homesteaders stink. It's just a fact of life. In fact, there's the time that I went to the dentist office last year. I sat down, you know how they have those long chairs, and you put your feet up and you get ready for your dental cleaning. I looked down at my boots and I was horrified because one of them on one side was completely covered with duck poo. And sometimes duck poo can be pretty nasty. So, I mean, it's downright embarrassing sometimes, the fact that I stink. So, is it worth all the effort, all the embarrassment of my mistakes, and all the stinkiness every day? Absolutely. Because I get to wind up to be part of something amazingly sweet all the time. I mean, yeah, it's really hard work collecting 40 gallons worth of sap, drip by drip, from trees in our backyard. But in the end, when we wind up with amazing syrup, you wind up with 1 gallon of syrup for every 40 gallons of sap. So for this jar that we just processed, we had to gather 10 gallons of sap. And it's a lot of effort, but it's absolutely worth it, because that sweetness, I know, as I'm going through the hard work of collecting and putting it through filters and boiling and then canning it, I know that all that hard work is going to taste amazingly delicious on our breakfast table in a few weeks. Or maybe it's going to taste amazing in Grandmom's blueberry cake. By the way, I absolutely love this recipe. It's been in my family for a very long time, and I share it with all of my subscribers in my totally free book that you really might want to grab. So I'll put a link for how to get that in the comments. But anyway, all that hard work, it's going to taste delicious in Grandmom's blueberry cake or on our pancakes. So is it worth it? Absolutely. So yeah, homesteading is hard. And I feel totally inadequate almost every day. In fact, I really feel like I should never even say that I'm a homesteader, because I don't feel like I'm legit. I don't know if I ever will, actually. But yeah, it's a hard, smelly, difficult, embarrassing ride, but I am totally glad that our family is on this ride. Well, at least most days.
Saying that, you put your logo over it, and then you just start with your homesteading or whatever you started with.
That's good. And why don't I say that?